What if the next global shock doesn't begin with bombs, but with borders? What if millions wake up one day to realize that the country they built their lives in no longer wants them there? In 2026, a single word could redefine everything: return. Return to homelands left decades ago. Return to countries they barely remember. Return not by choice, but by force. Donald Trump has never hidden his obsession with borders, identity, and control. But this time, the signals feel different, sharper, colder, more calculated. Behind speeches, interviews, and political strategy, a quiet list appears to be forming. Countries whose people may soon face the harshest reality of modern geopolitics. Tonight, Geo Lens takes you deep into the shadows, beyond headlines, beyond politics, into the 9 Asian countries that many believe could be most affected if Trump's vision becomes reality. This isn't just about immigration, it's about power, it's about fear, and it's about a world where belonging can be revoked overnight. Stay until the end, because the final country changes everything. Number 1. India. India represents one of the largest immigrant success stories in modern American history. Engineers, doctors, entrepreneurs, students. Yet paradoxically, size itself becomes a vulnerability. In Trump's worldview, numbers matter, visibility matters, and influence matters even more. Indian immigrants dominate sectors that symbolize globalization: tech, medicine, finance. To supporters of hardline nationalism, this isn't integration, it's infiltration. Rhetoric around taking American jobs has frequently brushed against communities like this, highly educated, highly visible, and deeply rooted. A return policy aimed at India wouldn't be about crime or legality alone. It would be symbolic, a message to the world that no level of success guarantees acceptance. For many Indian origin families, home is now a memory. Their children speak English more fluently than their mother tongue. Sending them back wouldn't just be relocation, it would be cultural exile. India isn't just a country on this list, it's a warning. Number 2. China. China isn't just a nation, it's America's rival rear. And in geopolitics, rivals are rarely trusted. Chinese immigrants often find themselves trapped between two flags. Accusations of espionage, loyalty questions, and rising paranoia have turned everyday lives into silent interrogations. In a future defined by strategic rivalry, ethnicity itself can become suspicion. A send-back narrative targeting China wouldn't need justification, it would ride on fear. Fear of technology theft, fear of influence, fear of dominance slipping away. For Chinese students and families in the US, the pressure is invisible but constant. A shift in power could turn neighbors into watchers and visas into countdown timers. In global politics, China is the shadow behind every American decision, and shadows are always feared. Number 3. Pakistan. Pakistan exists in a dangerous geopolitical space, forever misunderstood, forever scrutinized. For decades, Pakistani immigrants have lived under a lens of suspicion, amplified by global conflicts they never chose. Trump-era narratives have repeatedly lumped entire regions into simplified labels: dangerous, unstable, unwanted. In that climate, nuance dies first. A return push involving Pakistan wouldn't be about individuals. It would be about optics. a performance of strength aimed at voters who crave certainty in an uncertain world. Families who have lived quietly for decades could suddenly find themselves defined by a passport they barely think about anymore. For them, 2026 wouldn't feel political. It would feel personal. Number 4. Bangladesh. Bangladesh rarely dominates headlines, but invisibility can be dangerous. Bangladeshi immigrants often work in essential yet overlooked industries: transport, retail, services, manufacturing. When economic anxiety rises, the invisible become expendable. A mass return narrative aimed here would be framed as economic correction, jobs reclaimed, systems reset. But behind the language lies a brutal truth: those who build quietly are the easiest to remove quietly. Many Bangladeshi families send money home, supporting entire villages. A forced return wouldn't just impact individuals, it would ripple across borders. This isn't about crime, it's about convenience. Number 5. Philippines. Filipino immigrants are caregivers of America. Nurses, medical staff, service professionals. They're trusted in moments of vulnerability, yet rarely defended in moments of power. In a nationalist wave, even gratitude can expire. A return policy involving the Philippines would shock many, precisely because of how deeply embedded Filipinos are in daily American life. Hospitals, homes, and communities would feel the absence immediately. But geopolitics isn't about fairness, it's about leverage. And sometimes, even the most loyal contributors are treated as temporary guests. Number 6. Vietnam. Vietnam carries historical baggage that never fully disappeared. For some, it remains a war memory frozen in time. Vietnamese American communities have rebuilt lives from ashes, refugees turned citizens, survivors turned entrepreneurs. Yet in a harsh political climate, history can be weaponized. A return narrative here would reopen wounds thought long healed. It would remind people that safety granted can also be withdrawn. For Vietnam, the past isn't past, it's waiting. Number 7. Nepal. Nepalese immigrants are small in number, but size doesn't guarantee safety. Often working in security, logistics, and service sectors, they live under the radar, and that's exactly why they're vulnerable. When systems look for easy targets, communities without loud voices are first in line. A return push here would barely make headlines, yet devastate families completely. Sometimes, silence is the greatest risk. Number 8. Sri Lanka. Sri Lanka's political history is complex, and its diaspora often carries scars of conflict. Many came seeking stability, not opportunity alone. In a rigid immigration future, complexity is ignored, stories flattened, context erased. A forced return would feel like history repeating itself, once again pushing people toward uncertainty. For Sri Lankans abroad, fear wouldn't come from speeches, it would come from waiting. Number 9. Indonesia. Indonesia's scale, identity, and growing global presence make it impossible to ignore, yet its immigrants often live quietly, blending in without noise. In a future defined by cultural litmus tests, blending in may no longer be enough. Indonesia represents the final shift from individual enforcement to civilizational filtering. Who belongs? Who decides? And how fast can that decision change? If Indonesia ever appears on such a list, it wouldn't be the beginning, it would be the confirmation. What if the most powerful weapon of the future isn't a missile, but a stamp? Across these 9 countries, millions share the same fear that home has become conditional, that identity can be reversed, that belonging is temporary. This isn't about Trump alone. It's about a world moving towards sharper borders and colder definitions of us and them. 2026 may never look like this, or it may look exactly like this. And when history asks who saw it coming, the answer will be those who were watching closely. This is Geo Lens, and the story is far from over.